Well, hello humans. If you recognize this outfit, that means you watched the first video in my trifecta of Japan vlogs. As you saw from the title of the video, I went to Japan. I've got different bags from different cities and we're just kind of gonna go down the row in order and grab the first and largest bag. I was in Tokyo the longest, so it makes sense that I got the most stuff from there. I had a few things that I knew I wanted to get and was kind of on the hunt for the whole trip. Like I said, we're just gonna go in order because that's the easiest way to do things. So that does mean that we start with everything that I bought at Disney. If you're not a Disney person, don't worry, there's not too much stuff from here, but I did want some memories of my travels and sort of some things that said Tokyo Sea on it. Well, I guess we could start with the bag. That would make the most sense. I love Tangled, and I thought it was really cool that in the parks they had the Snuggly Duckling. I wanted something that said the Snuggly Duckling on it, and it does on the back. A lot of the stuff that they had was like dishware, and I was trying very hard, as much as I love like kitchenware, not super easy and safe to take over, so I tried to limit myself to glassware. Just was trying to find something that was not breakable. This tote bag, I use a lot of tote bags, especially when I like grocery shop or go to conventions or things like that, so I thought that I would get a lot of use out of it. Speaking of glassware, this is a glass cup that I got for Fantasy Springs. Definitely my favorite part of the park, and I do like to collect these sort of cups. I especially have a lot from Universal Studios, like the Halloween Horror Nights collection. So one of the things that I mentioned in the Disney vlog is that it was a big thing in Japan to have bag charms. A lot of people had multiple, but pretty much everybody had at least one. And I mean, look at him. He's so cute. As soon as I bought him, he was on my bag for the rest of the Disney trip. And I'm not gonna lie, this is definitely one of my favorite things that I got of the whole trip. So I think he's cute. This is another little bag charm, but this one is not mine. I had a friend who was like, please find me this little fox from the Duffy and Friends line. This little keychain opened my mind to a whole slew of Disney lore that I just like wasn't aware of. Duffy and Friends is only available at Tokyo Sea. It also just so happened too that it was the 20th anniversary of Duffy and Friends when I went. And the last thing in here, something that I've never seen before outside of Disneyland Tokyo, which I mentioned in the vlog, is that during the parade, they have sitting only areas in the park. They sell these little mats that you can sit on. So I ended up getting one so I could sit to watch the parades because that was way more enjoyable than standing. And also they come in a little like bag too. And this is another like Fantasy Springs item. So that is everything I got from Disney. Let me pack all this up real quick and we will continue with the Tokyo haul. We still have plenty more, don't worry. Pokemon was a non-negotiable, okay? Going to a Pokemon Center, had to do it. I'm not gonna lie though, it was kind of crowded in there and a little overwhelming. If I was able to take the time to breathe and actually look around, I probably would have gotten more things, but this is just what I could grab without panicking. So obviously, I had to get some Pokemon cards. I did get 2 packs, one has 10, one has 5. Have not opened these yet. I'm not gonna do it now, but I'm gonna set them aside. I'm really excited and I hope I get cool things. This is a little Pokemon keychain and it is of the Tokyo Skytree. It has like the starter Pokemon from, I'm so sorry that I cannot remember the region off the top of my head. This was a version that I definitely played. I also got, which I used this quite a bit on the trip itself, this little Piplup, I call it a coin purse. I think it's just like a trinket holder. The picture had like a little key that you put in here, but I used it as a coin purse because coins are very commonly used in Japan, but I just like looped this around my little purse and was carrying it around with me basically the entire trip. The rest of the stuff in here is stationery. So I'm a very DIY stationery based person. And so I wanted Pokemon stationery stuff. So this is a little marker set. Oh, I'm just now noticing that they're based off fruits. Oh, so lemon is the yellow, orange, grape. Well, there's 2 grapes. There's green grape and purple grape. All right, cherry and blueberry. All right, okay. I bet you they're scented. I think they're scented, or is that just the smell of the marker? Oh, and I'm telling you guys, I can't read Japanese. They are, so there's a skinny side and a thick side. Maybe they're just marker scented. I don't know, I can't tell. But that would be cool if they were fruit scented. This is a postcard set. I also collect art prints. I don't know if you could tell. I figured that I would use these more as like art prints or do some kind of, again, scrapbooking thing with it. Even though that was the Pokemon Center, there's other Pokemon stuff to come, so don't worry. Immediately after the Pokemon store, also in the Tokyo Tree shopping area was the Studio Ghibli store. I've seen a lot of the movies, but it's not really like my thing. And pretty much what I got is going to other people. So postcards. And then these are, I think that they're chip clips, but really you could use them for anything. House Moving Castle, Kiki's Delivery Service, of which it says on the back. And then this one is for me. They don't call it washi tape in Japan, they call it masking tape. Interesting. The rest of this stuff is just assorted going through Tokyo. For example, this is some matcha desserts that I brought back. This is a little bracelet. I kind of have decided that I'm collecting jewelry everywhere I go. It just reminded me of Japan. They're like little wooden beads, and then maybe it's jade. More likely though, I think it's green aventurine. Okay. Capsule toys. Okay, this was one of my things that I was on the lookout for, knowing that I wanted to do and get a lot of when I was in Japan. I was looking for cats, sushi, Pokemon, and Disney. This was a little sushi keychain. Hello? Oh my god. Take this with a grain of salt. My tour guide, when I got this one, was like, you got the rarest one. This one is a Disney princess. I think that these are different type of milks, and I got the strawberry milk with all of the princesses on it. Oh, this one is a little tiny itty bitty baby one. This one was outside of a temple. Like little guardians. This one, if I remember correctly, the two on either side of the temple, basically it's the beginning and the end. And so this one should be the beginning because his mouth is open, and then the end, his mouth is closed. And then the last Tokyo capsule is this little squishy cat. Oh my god. It has a little plate that comes with it because like they're supposed to resemble like gelatin or whatever. I want to see how squishy you are. Yeah. It's already gonna be covered in cat fur and I've had it for 2 seconds, it's fine. I'm gonna put it back in the plastic. I do really like that one, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, put him back in his little capsule, which is probably where he will live for most of his life. But in the last store that I went to in Tokyo, I got quite a few things from, one of which actually was this bag. So I've kind of been using it to store some things in, but this is a bag that folds and then it'll like roll up, and you can keep it in your purse, and then you can like pull it out, take these little strings and just sort of like, and it's like a little grocery bag. You have to pay for shopping bags in Japan. Ended up getting the little fish bag and had it rolled up, carried in my purse for when I needed it, and I ended up using it quite a bit in the trip, so it came handy. Atoya is a stationery store, and oh my god. So, oh, I'm already dropping my washi tape. I guess that means it wants to go first, or masking tape as they call it in Japan. These are little celestial ones. This is just sort of like night constellations, and this is Aries, which is my zodiac sign. I also got this pen, which not only is it really pretty, but it's one of those pens that has multiple colors. And so I always carry a notebook with me in my purse everywhere I go that sort of keeps track of my entire life. Now, even though I only carry one pen with me, it will have multiple colors. So I thought that that was a very useful item. This store, when I say stationery store, this store was like 10 floors tall, and each floor was a different theme, and there was a floor that was entirely pens. This is a cute little stamp of the lucky cat. I'm gonna be scrapbooking my trip in Japan anyway, so a lot of the stationery stuff I figured I would use in that. I got a lot of stickers. A lot of stickers. This is a little notepad with different papers, again lucky cat theme. This is a desk calendar, another little mini calendar, but it shows you what phases of the moon each day is. And then the last thing that I got in this store, and by last thing I meant I had checked out, and then as I was walking out I saw this and then had to get back in line. This is a little clay magnet, clay or ceramic, a ceramic magnet. I actually got a ceramic magnet when I was in Greece, so I found this one in Tokyo that kind of matches it. And that is everything that I got in Tokyo. So the next city on the itinerary was Hakone, probably the place that I got the least amount of stuff in. I was only in the city for a day, so kind of makes sense. You can start with one of my favorite things, which is a capsule toy. Hakone is where Mount Fiji is, and so obviously that's what we were there for. I got this because the ones in here were with the torii gate, the red torii gate. I got the doggy, which I'm totally okay with. Like I said, there wasn't a single one on there that I wouldn't be happy with. I'm gonna emphasize here, there was not a lot of stuff that I got in Hakone. This is the last thing. I kind of really wanted something with Mount Fuji on it. Was thinking maybe more of an art print, but that just wasn't a thing there. I didn't really see any art prints, but I thought that this was a beautiful magnet and it was kind of a good size. And the other two things, which I'm very big fans of, is I got 2 sets of earrings. That is everything from Hakone. Now we have arrived at my favorite city on the trip, Kyoto. I got these 2 things at a little tiny sort of hole in the wall shop. If you want to see what I actually did in Japan, I highly encourage you to watch the vlog, but I was waiting for a cooking class and we had kind of gotten to the location a little bit early, so we were walking around and seeing like just what was in the area. It was kind of late at night too, so not a lot of things were open. There was this I don't know if you want to call it an upholstery shop, but he kind of sold just different fabric things like bags and pillows and tapestries and stuff. So just a little sort of drawstring bag. I know what I'm going to use it for, but I'm not telling you. Got these little fans on it with flowers and it's blue. This is a little incense pouch. Oh my God, if you could smell this, it smells so good. Oh my God. I wish I knew what it was. I'm gonna figure out what is in here because I'm about to buy a shit ton of it. I'm really excited to talk about this one. Yes, it is open. This was the Imperial Palace. They had like these little vendors and stuff selling different things. And even though you can't eat in certain places, pretty much there's always like food or desserts everywhere. I ended up seeing this very unique looking dessert. This is like a little pastry, and more out of curiosity than anything else, I kind of like walked up and was like, what is that? The lady that was selling them was like, oh, would you like to try one? This is the best dessert I've ever had in my entire life. But then the other crazy thing, so after I buy this, then we end up going to a tea ceremony. And what was the dessert that we had with our tea? It was these. But it was the little cinnamon ones, and I was like, oh, that's the other one that I got in my multi-pack. So I'm telling you, this is my new favorite dessert of all time. So the last 2 things that I got in Kyoto were very special to me. Obviously, there were certain things, like I mentioned, I was on the hunt for since the beginning of the trip. One of which, of course, is chopsticks, right? And the ones that I ended up going with, silver chopsticks with koi fish on them. And then also I got this little chopstick rest. So it like, chopsticks sit in there like that. It has Mount Fuji on it. 1, because Mount Fuji obviously was a huge highlight of the trip, but 2, the mountain is made out of this like pearlescent sort of material. So I thought that that matched really well with the silver, and these are display chopsticks. I will not be eating with them. Obviously one of the #1 souvenirs that I was on the lookout for. But of course, when going to Japan, you have to get a lucky cat. I ended up getting a set though, because as it was explained to me, which I have probably heard this before, depending on which hand is up, one is welcoming money and wealth and the other is welcoming like friendship and good times. I got this one because it's a little bit more of a traditional looking lucky cat, but then I got this little gray tabby because I have a little gray boy. That is everything for Kyoto, and we still have 3 cities left. Now we have arrived at everything from Osaka, because I didn't get a lot of things, but the things that I did get are kind of bigger items. Also, more capsules, because of course, I got a plethora of washi tape, or masking tape as they call it. So I finally found my Pokemon masking tape. Didn't get any at the Pokémon Center. Some other things that I thought would be good for scrapbooking. This little sushi. This one is little lucky cats. Iconic places of Japan. It says Japanese food, but they're kind of like noodles. I don't know, I thought they were cute. And I like masking tape, so. These are gummy snacks. Well, I didn't realize how many there were. I thought that there were just going to be like a handful of repeating Pokemon, but there is a whole like system that I can't even really figure out. But I was like, oh, there's 4 flavors for Pokemon. No, it's literally any and every Pokemon you can think of. I went to this pottery class where basically we took broken ceramics and like fixed them. The whole process is in the vlog, so if you're interested, go ahead and watch that. It's like a workshop thing that I actually did. And then while I was there, because like it was a studio, like a place of business, and they obviously had a lot of pottery. I don't know, maybe they bought pottery with the intention of breaking it. But so this is something that I was okay with just having one of, because it's a container. Now, this was explained to me before any of you guys think that I don't know what I'm talking about. That this is a pudding dish, but that is not what I'm going to use it for. I will be using this to store herbs. I make my own teas fun fact. And so if I make a particular blend, I will place it in this jar. So it's gonna be like a little storage jar. But last things in here are the capsules. This round though, a lot of it I don't actually know what it is because you couldn't see when it came out of the machine. It looks like, oh, this is one of the little cat things, isn't it? Okay. Oh, wait, I didn't even know what this was. I guess it's like a little, looks like a little clip of some kind. They are Scottish Folds, which are one of my favorite cats. Ah! Oh, another cat related item. They're little like plushy keychains that you could get. Obviously was kind of hoping for the gray one because like I said, I do have a little gray boy, but I would be fine with any cat. And it looks like I got the ginger cat. And the last capsule exposes me a little bit. I kind of wasn't expecting to find K-pop stuff in Japan. I was like, if they have any sort of music groups, it's probably gonna be like J-pop. So therefore was really excited when I did. Saw a couple like Stray Kid related displays, but then I found what I consider to be the holy grail of capsule toy machines, which was a Stray Kids one. Recently got into Stray Kids this year. I have a friend who's been trying to get me into them for years and was over the moon when I ended up expressing interest. So I ended up getting the one that I thought was not even gonna be in there, I'm gonna be honest with you, but it's Felix. His was like the one that was showcased, and obviously Felix is a very popular bias and maybe probably the most popular bias of Stray Kids. I kind of didn't think Felix was even in the machine, I'm gonna be honest, or would be like the rarest one. And then that's the one that I just happened to get. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And I do like Felix. I was okay with getting Felix. I like them all. So the spoiler alert of the items that are in here really, I think, is explained by the bag. This is the stuff that I got in Hiroshima. So there was a donut shop that I ended up going into, and I did keep the packaging because I'm like I said, DIY queen, scrapbooking, I'm gonna use it for stuff. I have this special going on where essentially it was buy like this Pokemon donut plus this seasonal donut, and you also get Pokemon donut bag and a cup. So I wanted the Pokemon donut anyway because the Pikachu one was really cute and it was amazing. I don't quite know what the filling was. I think they called it angel cream. The main thing that I wanted though was this cup, just because again, anything and everything Pokemon. You give me Pokemon merch, I'm gonna go for it, man, you know? I feel like this is like a little espresso cup or something. And then the second store that I went to in Hiroshima was cat themed. This was a ring holder that I saw, and it's just a silver cat, and I almost didn't get it, but I was literally like, okay, if you don't get this, you're never gonna find it again. Like, if you want it, just get it. It's not that expensive, and it's cute. It's just a trinket item. The rest of the items, they had like anything and everything cats, and I really honestly loved a lot of the purses and wallets, but I was specifically on the hunt for cats that looked like mine. It's just not very common to find gray tabbies on things. Like black cats and orange cats, very easy to find, and then I think maybe like calico cats would be after that, but tabbies, not only are they not as common, because they're like striped and patterned, it like maybe I might find like a gray cat, but then it's like, but that doesn't look like my tabby. So the closest one that I could find, which is pretty close, but this one has a little bit more white in his fur than my son does, but I found a little keychain, which I used to have a little gray tabby keychain, but it has since worn out. Continuing with the little lucky cat theme, these are little lucky cat earrings. And then this is a cute little cat pin of two cats sharing tea. This technically was the same day as I went to Hiroshima. There's like a little island. Towards the end of the day, we went there and I got a couple things from there. I really only visited one store. There is one other thing I'm going to show you after this. But essentially this is kind of the last thing, the last category of stuff I bought in Japan. So this island is known for the torii gates on the water, and also this is the deer island where the deer kind of like free roam and walk up to you. So art print I did get, of course, we're continuing with the magnet trend. So this one has a beautiful torii gate with it and also a little deer. I fell in love with the deer. And then also, speaking of wanting to immortalize the deer, because I just thought that they were the most precious things in the world, because I'm a trinket based person, I ended up getting this little gold little deer, which actually there were a couple different ones I could go with, but this one came with the fortune inside. It's just for me, you don't get to see it. Sorry. Okay, so this one, for it being the last capsule toy I did, brought me the most joy because I finally found a Pokemon one, which is a beautiful strong note to end on that I got Pikachu. It was kind of hard to find Pokemon capsule toys, so that is all of the stuff that I purchased when I was in Japan. But there's one more thing I'm going to show you, like I mentioned. It's currently sitting in a cigar box. The cigar box has nothing to do with Japan. It's just the current storage unit. But I collected a bunch of random knick-knack paper good type things. I'm going to be including these in my scrapbooking part of my plane ticket. I also have subway tickets in here for the ones that they let me keep. A lot of times they did not let you keep them. I have some maps and guides of places, some stuff from Disney, more sort of tickets and receipt type stuff. These were actually little postcards that were at my hotel. I just, was just gonna kind of show you and go through a couple of these because some of them are cool. This was actually just an admissions ticket to somewhere, but they also explained that it is a good luck charm almost. It's I forget the technical term that they call it, but you can place this over your door for protection. So just different things like that. Just some little things that I have procured from places. I did spend pretty much all of the money that I exchanged, but I do have one of each coin. I think also too, to have some like coins to include was kind of fun too. So I have a couple of these. There were also these like stamps in certain places. Of course, some of the packaging and stuff that I have been going through in this video is now going to be transferred and end up in the scrapbooking sort of collage junk journal section as well. I don't know, I just kind of started doing it pretty early in the trip and then was like, this is actually a pretty cool thing, and now I do kind of want to continue that if I do travel internationally. Just kind of keeping like paper good type things to use in my scrapbooks, because there were a couple things that I kept from Greece, but nowhere near as much as I did for Japan. That was just the last thing that I wanted to show you real quick. So if you want to see more, especially if you want to see what my entire trip was like, where I went, what I did, I do have an entire vlog of the whole trip of all 12 days. So feel free to check that out. That is also up on the channel. So I think I got my favorite things in Kyoto, but Tokyo might have been the best for shopping. That was certainly the city that I got the most in. I don't know, what do you think? What were some of your favorite items? If you have been to Japan, what were some things that you got? Or if you're planning on going to Japan, what are some things that you're trying to get? Because like I said, I had a few intentions of things, capsule toys, chopsticks, Lucky Cats. Those were like #1 items on my list, which are probably not #1 items on most people's list. But I'll go ahead and wrap it up because I think it is now 10 p.m. and I should go to bed. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.